The mortal realms are fit to burst with malign forces who wish to scour, conquer, or despoil all before them, but they are not alone. Standing against these tyrants, despots, and destroyers are the Sentinels of Order, a coalition of civilizations and pantheons of gods, mostly, united by the god king Sigmar. Tensions run deep beneath this veneer of unity, as each faction has their own agendas, even as they battle to reclaim the realms from chaos. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Miniatures Tavern. My name is Watts, and I am super excited as we are deep diving into the Stormcast Eternals Spearhead box. Now, this is the box that released a few months ago. This is the first type of Spearhead Army that you can run as a Stormcast Eternals. They have two. We will be looking at both eventually, but today we're going to focus on Yndrasta's Spearhead. So let's jump in. All right, the Stormcast Eternals Yndrasta's Spearhead. This box is going to come with one Yndrasta, the Celestial Spear. It's going to come with one Knight Vexor with the Banner of Apotheosis. It's going to come with one Stormstrike Chariot, 3 Annihilators, and finally 10 Vanquishers. You get a total of 16 models in this box, and the points value for this Spearhead is 870 points. So right out of the gate, pretty chunky. Price for the box, as of recording this video, you could find this on the Games Workshop website for $145. On Amazon, you could pick it up at a discount for $123.25. And on eBay, you can find this for $100 to $123.25. So not too bad. If you are interested in purchasing off of Amazon, check the link down below in the description. It helps the channel, and we would really appreciate it. Thank you. So let's jump in, and man, I am super excited. I'm rubbing my hands together. Let's jump into this box and see what we got. This is the first look at the Spearhead cards and the army composition. Super exciting. The warriors under Yndrasta's command ensure that the enemy overextended themselves before the killing strike is dealt. That deadly blow is almost always struck by Sigmar's huntress herself. It is her spear that plunges into the heart of the enemy's most monstrous champion, and it is her hand that raises the decapitated head to the skies, to the thunder of Sigmar's approval. Yndrasta is one of Sigmar's mightiest champions, her role to hunt down the deadliest and the most evil of foes. Her spearhead formation works in two distinct elements. The first is based around a small force of vanquishers that strike from the heavens in a blinding column of lightning. At their head, the Knight Vexor raises a magical banner of apotheosis to heal any wounds they suffer, while the Stormstrike Chariot adds some serious punch to their charge. When the foe musters a counterattack, its commanders and warbeasts seeking to overturn the Stormcast Eternals infantry, the second part of this dual assault descends in a blaze of force. Here, the Annihilators are in their element, their meteoric charge crushing all but the most formidable foes. Yndrasta, waiting for the foe to reveal their hand, is often the last to strike, and when she does so, she is quite capable of slaying even a rampaging gargant with a series of pinpoint spear thrusts. Awesome. So here we go. This Spearhead Army consists of the following units. Your general is Yndrasta, the Celestial Spear, and we already went through the breakdown. The Knight Vexor, the 3 Annihilators, the 5 Vanquishers, so you could take the 10 block and break them up into 2 units of 5, and the Stormstrike Chariot. And here we have a quote from the mighty hero: "Let the vengeance of the God King blast these fools from our sight. Attack, Yndrasta, the Celestial Spear." Excellent. Let's go ahead and jump into battle traits. Battle traits for Age of Sigmar are kind of like army rules in 40k. The battle trait for this Spearhead is Scions of the Storm. Yndrasta and your Annihilators unit are not set up during the deployment phase. Instead, from the third battle round onwards, they can use the following ability. This ability comes and is used in your movement phase. It's called Lightning Strike Arrival, and you can set this unit up anywhere on the battlefield more than 6 inches from all enemy units. So you got to wait till the third battle round, your movement phase, and then Yndrasta and the Annihilators can come in as reinforcements for your army and hopefully take care of any any loose ends that you gotta tie up. You know what I mean? They're gonna come and clean up. They're just gonna sweep it around and clean it up for you there. All right, let's take a look at regiment abilities. Now, regiment abilities are like enhancements that you can pick in 40K, and you're going to pick one of the following regiment abilities. The cool thing about regiment abilities and the enhancements is that they add flavor to your army so that you don't have to play the army the same way every time. You do get a lot of variety. You get a little variety, which is pretty nice. All right, so you get 2 regiment abilities in this Spearhead. The first one is called Drive Them Back. You can pick any number of friendly units that are both contesting an objective and in combat, and the effect is each of those units can make a pile-in move. For each unit that did so, pick an enemy unit within 1 inch of it and roll a dice. On a 4-up, inflict 1 mortal damage on that enemy unit. That's at the end of any turn. And then you have a passive ability, Defend to the Last. Your effect here is friendly units have a ward 6 up while they are contesting an objective you control. So there you go. And now let's take a look at the enhancements. You can give your general one of the following enhancements. We have the first enhancement that's passive, the Prime Huntress. The damage characteristic of Vengavr Yndrasta Spear is 2d6 for attacks that target a monster. You have a once per battle enhancement that you can use in your movement phase. This is called Dazzling Radiance. You pick your general to use this ability if they were set up this phase. You can return 1 slain model to each friendly unit wholly within 12 inches of your general. Pretty nice. Next, you have the passive ability Strike with the Tempest Rage. And this effect is your general has the strike first if they charged in the same turn. And then finally, you have a once per battle ability in any combat phase. And this one is called the Hawk of the Celestial Skies. Until the end of the phase, add 1 to hit rolls for attacks made by friendly units while they are wholly within 12 inches of your general. So pretty nice mix and match here, so you can really add some flavor to your Spearhead. And I think that's a great mechanic, right? So you're not going to get bored of playing the same models over and over. You can mix and match, which I think is a really cool core function of Spearhead. Now we're going to jump into the War Scrolls. So first we've got Yndrasta, the Celestial Spear. If we look here, you can see that her health is 8, so she's going to have 8 wounds. She can move 12 inches. She saves on a 3-up, and her objective control is 2. She's got 2 weapon profiles. She's got Vengavr, which is her ranged weapon with a 12-inch range. 1 attack. You need a 3 to hit, a 2 to wound. It's Rend, which is like armor penetration in 40k. So Rend 2 and damage 4. And then she has the ability that she can shoot in combat. So that is pretty nice. Melee weapon is Blade of the High Heavens. You're going to get 5 attacks. You hit on 3. You wound on 3. Rend is 2 and your damage is 3, and there is no ability. And then she has an ability here. Once per battle in any combat phase, Champion of Sigmar. The unit has ward 5 up this phase. So this is a once per battle ability that you can pop off if you need a little more durability from Yndrasta. And then here you have her keywords. She is a hero, she is infantry, fly, and a ward 6 up normally. So once per battle, you can bring that down by 1 with a ward 5. Excellent. Moving on. Next, we're going to take a look at the Vanquishers. They have 2 health each. They move 5. They save on 3s, and they have 1 control point. They are only equipped with a melee weapon, the Celestial Greatsword. You're going to get 2 attacks, hitting on 3s, wounding on 3s, rend 1, damage 1. The weapon does not have an ability, but they have a passive ability, the unit does, called Lightning Strikes. And that's going to add 1 to the damage characteristics of this unit's Celestial Greatswords for attack that target an enemy unit that has 5 or more models. Cool. And then their keyword is infantry. So it looks like they're going to get a little damage bonus. That'll bring their damage to 2. So round 1, damage 2. If you're attacking units that have 5 or more models, remember you can split these guys 5 and 5. So that's pretty neat, you know. That's good. Next, we have the Knight Vexor. He's got 6 health. He's going to move 5 inches, saves on 3s, and he's got 5 objective control. And he is equipped with the Sigmarite Warblade. You're going to get 4 attacks, hitting and wounding on 3s, rend 1, damage 2. The weapon has no ability, but he has an ability called the Banner of the Reforged. And what you can do is in your hero phase, you can pick a friendly unit wholly within 12 inches of this unit to be the target. And you can heal D3 the target. In addition, add 3 to that unit's control score until the start of your next turn. So this is pretty cool. Not only can you heal D3, but if you're healing a unit that's on an objective, they're going to get 3 to their control score till the next turn. So that's pretty cool. Next up, we have the Annihilators, the chunky boys. Chunky boys. Remember, these guys come in turn 3, your movement phase. Health 3, movement 4. They're kind of slow, so you may want to make sure you put them strategically when they come in because they're a little slow. They got short, stubby little legs. They're slow. They save on 2s, and they have 1 control point. Their melee weapon is the Meteoric Hammer. They get 3 attacks each. They hit on 3. They wound on 3. Rend 1. Damage 2. No special ability on the weapon, but the unit has an ability that can be used in any charge phase. And this is called Force of a Falling Star. If this unit charged this phase, the unmodified charge roll was an 8 or up, pick an enemy unit within 1 inch of it to be the target, and the effect is the target has strike last this turn. So it looks like from AOS 3, now remember it's a new format, Spearhead, so it's supposed to be quick and it's supposed to be balanced, but in larger games of 3, whenever these bad boys would strike down on the battlefield, you would have to take, the enemy would have to take mortal wounds. But they changed it now. The target has strike last. That's still pretty powerful, though, because these guys hit like a truck. So pretty good. And then finally, I think this is the final one, we have the Stormstrike Chariot. It's got 10 health. It moves 10 inches. It saves on 3. It's got 2 control points. You got ranged weapons. The Great Stormbow that has an 18-inch range. Pretty nice. That means you can volley some attacks from a distance, which is good. Soften up your opponent's targets a little bit. You're going to get 2 attacks, hitting and wounding on 3s. Rend 1, damage 1. It's okay. And then you've got 2 melee weapons. Of course, 1 is the companion, but you got the Stormstrike Axe, 3 attacks, hitting and wounding on 3s, 1 rend, 1 damage, and then the Griff Charger's Beaks and Claws. That's going to be 6 attacks, hitting on 4s, wounding on 3s, 1 rend, 1 damage, and his ability is Companion. And they have this special ability. The Chariot has this ability. Any charge phase, Azure Unleashed. If a unit charged this phase, if this unit charged this phase, pick an enemy unit within 1 inch of it to be the target and roll a dice. On a 2-up, inflict D3 mortal damage on the target. There you go. There is the mortal wounds on the charge. That's what we were looking for. So pretty decent. You know, I gotta say, it's not disappointing, this box. This is pretty nice, starting Spearhead strong. I mean, hopefully you guys pre-ordered. I did. I know that my box will be here on Saturday. And I am super excited to get it and build and paint and get these guys on the table for you guys to see. But I'm pretty excited. It's not a bad box. Let's go ahead and do a SWAT analysis. So for those of you that haven't watched my 40K Combat Patrol videos, at the end of all of these videos, I like to plug in all the rules and all the data sheets and everything into an AI program that I've created to analyze 40K and now Age of Sigmar stats and units. To help with strategies and ways of winning and how to win and stuff like that. So this is the first SWOT analysis for Spearhead. And here we go. Strengths, high mobility, and flexibility. Yndrasta and the Annihilators can be set up anywhere on the battlefield from the 3rd battle round onwards, providing significant tactical flexibility and the ability to strike at crucial points. Second strength is durability. The units have high save characteristics, with many having additional ward saves, making them resilient to enemy attacks. Powerful command abilities like Drive Them Back and Champion of Sigmar provide significant advantages in both offense and defense. Strong offensive capabilities. Units like the Annihilators and Vanquishers have abilities that increase their damage output, especially against larger enemy units. And finally, versatile enhancements. Enhancements such as Dazzling Radiance and Hawk of the Celestial Skies offer powerful situational advantages. Let's take a look at their weaknesses. Their weakness number 1 is delayed deployment. Some key units, such as Yndrasta and the Annihilators, only arrive from the 3rd battle round, which may leave the army vulnerable in the early phases. Remember, Spearhead only has 4 battle rounds, and if you want to understand the rules a little bit better, I will link up my video on core rules. I just put that video out, and it walks you through actually the core rules of Spearhead. So 4 battle rounds, so delayed deployment, I can see how that would be a weakness. Weakness number 2, limited unit numbers. Focusing on elite units means that there are fewer models on the battlefield, which can be a disadvantage in holding multiple objectives. So you're going to want to try to play them strategically and kind of think ahead, you know what I mean? And kind of position your units. You're going to have that 2 5-man squad that you can grab objectives with. You're also going to have the chariot that moves really quick. So you're really going to want to try to synergize. And that's actually the 3rd weakness. Dependence on synergy. Many abilities and strengths rely on specific synergies and positioning, which can be disrupted by a skilled opponent. So yeah, we were just talking about that. So you're going to have to be careful. You're going to have to keep that in mind. Let's take a look at opportunities for this army. The first is objective control. The ability to deploy anywhere on the battlefield from round 3 allows for strategic objective control, surprising the opponent and turning the tide of battle. Super powerful. Remember, the Annihilators do move slow, so it is going to be all about that strategic positioning when they're going to come down in your movement phase in the 3rd battle round. Counterattack potential. The army's ability to withstand initial assaults and then counterattack effectively can catch opponents off guard. Remember, those Annihilators, they have that ability that gives their opponent strike last. So if you can lay into that and lean into that, that's definitely going to help you a lot. And then finally, versatile engagements. With high mobility and strong defensive capabilities, the army can engage in various battle scenarios, adapting to different opponent strategies. So you just got to think on your toes. And then finally, let's go ahead and take a look at the threats. Early game vulnerability, and I think we've touched on that a couple times. The delayed arrival of key units can leave the army vulnerable to aggressive early game strategies from opponents. High-value targets is also a threat. Units like Yndrasta and the Annihilators are likely to be primary targets for opponents due to their high impact, requiring careful positioning and protection. And then finally, tactical counterplay. Skilled opponents may exploit the army's need for synergy and optimal positioning, disrupting their effectiveness through strategic movements and focused attacks. But the conclusion here for the SWAT analysis, guys, is Yndrasta's Spearhead Army for the Stormcast Eternals is a powerful force with significant strengths in mobility, durability, and offensive capabilities. However, it also has notable weaknesses, particularly in its delayed deployment and reliance on synergy. By leveraging its strengths and mitigating its weaknesses, this army can be a formidable presence on the battlefield. And there you go, guys. The first walkthrough for Spearhead, Age of Sigmar 4.0. Super excited about this. There it is, Yndrasta's Spearhead. Are you guys excited for Spearhead? Let me know. We're going to start focusing on Spearhead as well, creating content for you guys. We do have a Patreon. I started a Patreon with that's going to look at strategic play for Sigmar, Spearhead, and also 40k Combat Patrol. But this is kind of where our content's gonna lie. Combat Patrol for 40k and Spearhead for Age of Sigmar. What army are you guys playing? I would love to know in the comments. Again, are you excited for AOS 4? Let me know in the comments. And are you going to play this one? Let me know in the comments. That's it for today, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Again, my name is Watts, and I will see you in the next video.